Hello students, welcome to the lecture number 5 of Principles of Management. In previous classes we talked about different theories, concepts, models of management. That was chapter number 1. Today we have got first lecture of chapter number 2. The name of this chapter is History of Management or Management History. In management history, this history we are starting from the scientific management. Before going to the scientific management, I would like to tell you that before 1880 there were no proper management education or knowledge, etc. That time teachers were teaching only some secretarial or clerical skills to the students. There were no theories, there were no concepts, etc. The foundation of proper management was laid down by Frederick Taylor, which we are calling it scientific management. Scientific management is the foundation of this management, what you see in today's globalized world. So, starting from the basic definition of scientific management, what is the definition of the scientific management? The thorough study and testing of different work methods to identify the best and most efficient way to accomplish a job. What does it mean? It means that we are in scientific management, we are testing different methods. We are studying and testing different methods in very much detail. This is called thorough study, the detailed study of each and every method for completing a task. And we are trying our best to find out the most efficient way for completing that specific task. Or we can say that the scientific management is totally focusing on efficiency. Efficient way or efficiency. What is meant by efficiency? In previous classes we have also talked about it. Less input, more output is called efficiency. Or we can say that using the resources wisely is called efficiency. Or we can say that management in which we are trying our best not to waste the resources is called efficiency. So this concept of efficiency is the main goal of scientific management, or scientific management introduced efficiency in the workplace or in the organization. Or in other words, we can say that scientific management is trying its best to come up with the most efficient way. This is called scientific management. When the scientific management started, it started in 1880. In 1880s, it has started. 1880s, the foundation of scientific management was laid down by Frederick Taylor. Or we can say that Frederick Taylor is the father of the scientific management. So who was Frederick Taylor when he was born? Frederick Taylor was born in 1856 and he was died in 1915. This Frederick Taylor started work as a worker at Midwell Steel Company. Slowly and gradually, he was promoted to the managerial position. In the managerial position, the first function that he performed when he became the manager, he tried to stop soldiering. Soldiering. What is meant by soldiering? Soldiering means that employees are intentionally working very less and also stopping or preventing other employees to work quickly. First, this was a barrier in the way of scientific management. First, he tried to remove this disease from the organization, which we are calling it soldiering. Soldiering means that when employees are working less than their capabilities, that is called soldiering. Then he tried to stop soldiering. He was promoted to the managerial position. Scientific management or the work of Frederick Taylor is totally based on 4 principles. His scientific management is based on 4 basic pillars, or we can say Taylor's 4 principles of scientific management. Although there are some other principles presented by Taylor, but basically the scientific management is totally built upon these 4 principles. Number 1 of which is develop a science for each element of a man's work. Develop a science for each element of a man's work. Of a man's work means assign each and every duty to your worker logically. Science means logic, means you should not waste the time of your employees. Whatever activity they are performing, there should be a specific logic in it. There should be a reason for the duty and responsibility of each and every employee. This is principle number 1 of scientific management presented by Frederick Taylor. Principle number 2 is scientifically select and then train, teach and develop the workers. Second principle is about your workers, that you should select them through a proper method, through a proper channel, then train them so that they can teach the skills that is required by their jobs. Train them and develop them scientifically through proper rules and regulations, through proper criteria based on logic. Based on logic, what does it mean? We are talking about science, logic everywhere. I am giving a very simple example. Let's suppose you are hiring finance officer. So obviously finance officer needs a training related to finance. QuickBooks software or Tele software or some other transactions, etc. Some other slips, methodology, how they are preparing different slip, etc. So now if you are giving them training of marketing on the very first day, it's not logical. So that's why he is telling you that you should hire employees logically. Hiring them logically means that there should be right person at the right place on the right time. Means if you are hiring a person who studied literature, adabiyat, for marketing position or finance position or HR position, there is no science in it. So that's why Frederick Taylor says that you should hire, train and develop your employees based on logic or based on some scientific method. This is principle number 2 of Frederick Taylor. Principle number 3 is heartily cooperate with men to ensure the scientific principles. You should cooperate with your employees to make sure that scientific principles are being implemented in the organization. You should be social with them, cooperate with them, teach them, work with them, lead them, motivate them to make it sure that scientific principles are being implemented in the organization. This is called principle number 3 of Taylor. Number 4th principle is that there is equal responsibility of management and workers. There is equal responsibility of management and workers. Management, managers. It says that credit goes to both. First, before the scientific management, the managers were thinking or the seniors were thinking that the overall responsibility goes to the employees, only they were taking credits of the work performed by the workers. No, it's not like that. He says that when there is responsibility, you are a manager, so you are equal responsible for that work as your employee or worker is. Responsibility goes parallel to both manager and worker. Our responsibility is distributed 50-50 between a manager and a worker. Both of them are responsible. If the worker is going very well, still credit goes to both. If the work is going very worse, if the work is going worse, still the negative credit goes to both. So these are 4 principles which were presented by Frederick Taylor, and these 4 principles laid down the foundation of the scientific management. Now, I'm sure that now you have understand the concept of scientific management, about the father of the scientific management, 4 principles of scientific management. See you in the next class. Khuda Hafiz.